Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining us for another episode of the Daily BizLink. Stacie Mallen is back, and today we're covering the topic of rhythms, routines, and rituals. So, Stacie, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. I know your kiddos, my kiddos. There's a lot of change going on right now, and I've not had one conversation lately with a parent of preteen teens that we don't talk about the zombie apocalypse that's been going on for the last year and a half in our households. Call them vampires or zombies, whatever you want to call them. You know, you come out in the kitchen in the morning and they've been up doing things. And I found out the other night that all of our children converge on the kitchen apparently at 2 a.m., like all of our teenagers, friends, people that are over, and we're asleep. So there's a whole nighttime thing going on that we didn't know about. And it's relevant because in about a week, they're all going to have to get back to lifing, like not adulting quite, but lifing. So I started to ask myself in my own house, how do we start to develop rhythms and rituals this week, next week, to kind of get them prepared, which ultimately has an effect on us, right? Because we have their rituals and rhythms affect ours. So, and I also think it's relevant for everybody that's starting to find a new norm, right? If you're going back into the office for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or 5 days, and then you're going to be at home. So finding that new balance. And I think going back to something that I know you and I both believe in, which is based on the book Atomic Habits, is habit stacking, is where I try to get people to sort of start. So, and that concept is, if you have one thing that you do every day, start there and start to stack on top of that. So for me, right, in the morning, right, I have supplements that I take every morning, and I've gotten very good. I never miss. It's like such a muscle memory. So I started this morning by stacking onto that habit. Like, what's the next best thing I can do? So for me, I went back to drinking a full, 16 ounces of water right after I take my supplements. And then I went in and woke up my daughter. So it's just this concept of taking something that exists and start to develop a ritual every morning that is going to probably be highly beneficial in the next coming weeks for yourself. And even if you don't have kids going back to school, I think it's a really healthy way to start figuring out what your new norm is, in whatever situation that you're going to be in.
I personally really like the idea of focusing so much on your morning routine because, that helps with setting you up for success for the entire day. So making sure that you're including those things that help you with your overall health and well-being and put you in a good frame of mind and a positive outlook. I think those are all really great strategies. So Stacie, thanks so much for sharing some of those ideas.
Thank you.
So,
and I think at night, to your point, Lindsay, sorry, things get hijacked. So I think starting in the morning is better. You should have rituals in the evening, but let's be honest, whether it's a monsoon or whatever like can happen, I think you're more in control of your own rhythm. Not everybody. If you got infants, I'm sorry, you're probably in no control in any place in your life. But for the most part, we have more control over our rituals in the morning.
yeah, absolutely. And starting with small goals. I know the workday, it can be a little crazy and chaotic for a lot of individuals, and no 2 days can ever look the same. So in those scenarios, even like prioritizing, okay, I'm just going to make sure I eat lunch today. Like that could be a winning strategy for you. So
Yes.
yeah, Stacie, as those kids get ready to go back to school, I think this is a great idea for individuals to further prioritize. And if you don't have kids, it's still a good strategy for those professionals looking to up their game. So Stacie, as we look to wrap up today's conversation, do you have, obviously we're going to encourage them to go ahead and move forward with implementing some of these rituals, rhythms, and routines, but do you have any additional challenges for this week?
Yeah, one thing, and I've mentioned this before, hydration is such a key to like balance and health. So one thing I'm going to start doing in the morning for my kids is actually handing them a bottle of water, like as I'm waking them up. It sounds such a simple thing, but I started noticing when I do that for myself, I don't know, like physiologically, I sort of feel more level set first thing in the morning. And I think it's a really good habit to teach our kids. So I know that's, again, a super simple, more health and wellness related one, but I'm just wondering if, as we instill healthy habits in ourselves, in our partners, in our children, it's one thing that I think that can make a mental and physical shift at the same time. So that's one that maybe people could try.
Great. Well, Stacie, thanks again for joining us for today's episode.
Thank you.